Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Hey, double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word of truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. All right, so this is a quick lesson, very quick one. Again, Lord willingly is informative and inspiring, and edifying in the spirit, you know. But as the title of this goes, so far, you know, with a greater understanding of the Hebrew, you know, that's the focus and goal of mine. But Shammai, you gotta hear when the spirit, all right, you gotta hear the spirit, all right. What would that be? What would that be? Rakar Shammai, or hear spirit. You gotta hear, you know, working on it, building on it, but you gotta hear when the spirit is speaking, man. You know, and you gotta hear that not just from your favorite. See, this is where a lot of men get lost in the sauce with this as well, like where you part-time spiritual with it. You can't just hear it when the people that you like to hear it from speaking. You know, a lot of Jake being that unconsciously, I would say in certain cases where you only really hear when the apostles speak or the elders speak. You know, you should hear when they speak as well, but you got to understand that every man here is here as a servant of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So you got to hear the spirit. You should be a spiritual man. What is that? 1 Corinthians 2nd chapter, I believe, speaks on that. About the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit, for they are foolish unto him. You got to really hear when even the spirit is speaking to you through heathens. When the spirit, oh man, that's the spirit. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hey, 144, I'm sorry. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. Like I was saying, you got to hear when the spirit is speaking to you through heathens. You can't just be cut off and act like there's only one way the Lord can speak to you. All right? The Lord can say spiritual things through heathens, through women, through children. When the Lord, that account where that the prophet didn't listen to the Lord's requirements. I think that was in the Kings, and the prophet was killed because he didn't listen to the commandments. So then you had the lion, and I believe it was a donkey. There was a lion and a donkey, or a lion and a sheep. I think it was a donkey that was laying next there. The Lord was using the animals to express something spiritual happen here. So I say, you got to being a spiritual man means not just, see, Jake be thinking that being spiritual is just, you know, seeing chariots in the sky. Oh, I seen a chariot, you know, or, you know, very things of that nature, which again, those are spiritual things. But you gotta, if you can't discern when the spirit of the Lord is expressing something to you, you know, that's foolishness. 144. That's foolishness. See, we're coming into times where through the spirit, our ears gotta be fully alert. This ain't the time to be that dog with your ear, you know, You know the difference between when a dog's alert and when a dog's at ease, right? When a dog's at alert, his tail is strong, his ears are alert, he's paying attention. Scriptures say that these false prophets likens these false prophets unto dumb dogs. You understand? We're not dumb. If you're in the spirit, that's not how you are or how the Lord views you. So you're not a dumb dog. You're an alert dog. You're a dog in the spirit. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna hit a few scriptures. I mean, this is a good one too, but 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressively, right? And that's really just the point of what I wanted out of this scripture is the Spirit speaketh expressively. Like let's look up that word expressively. I'm looking up the blue letter. Bear me 1 second. Like I said, this is just all in the spirit. Let's see what's there in the Greek. All right, this is
Strong's G 4490. Chretos.
all right, retos, which means outspokenly. All right, outspokenly. Right? Express in words. So that's what it means there, to expressively, to express, outspoken. The Spirit is going to be outspoken with it. Like the Lord is not like, but you got to be able to have ears to hear when it's speaking to you. You know, you don't want to be stiff-necked and hard-nosed and difficult and slow. You know, you want to be able to hear it. That's why we're in these times that we're in. Everything that we're in, every last one of us individually is in the spirit, preparing us to be at in that moment as you're gonna be as spiritual as you could be because you've been working on it. All of these elements of life that we're going through, the hardships, you know, trials, the tribulations, is all for a test of, are you preparing yourself? Can you hear? Are you learning to trust in the name of the Lord? Are you learning to trust in the Lord's men? Are you learning to trust in your fellow brethren? Everybody around you, either there is no gray area, man. It's either foe or friend. So that's why it's a thing of really learning to trust in the Spirit, 100%, and understanding, like, not to be simple where you just yep, that's the Spirit, everything. No, man. You got to hear when it's expressively speaking. All right, when it's really talking. You got it. Like I say, man, let's see. Let me get another one. What is that? Bear me 1 second. That's another one. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna probably one more scripture. Come on now. See the phone trying to be all Satan. There we go. The water, yeah, how about you, man? I'm sure. what is that? 1 Samuel. That might be 3. Yep. Listen to this. This is 1 Samuel 3:1, and it says, "And the children and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in his eyes." No, that's not it. That might be the second chapter. Forgive me. Let's see. It's probably verse 3. Give me 1 second. Yep, this is it. I'm sorry. I'm just jumping the gun. All right. Let's start it. I read it again. 1 Samuel 3:1. And it says, "And the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim that he could not see. And ere the lamp of the Lord, lamp of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, went out in the temple of the Lord when the ark of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep, that the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not. Lie down again. And then he went and laid down. And the Lord called yet again, Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, And I called not, my son, lie down again. And Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time, and he arose and went to Eli, and he said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he call thee, thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. For Samuel went and laid down in his place, and the Lord came and stood and called as all at other times, Samuel, Samuel. And then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And this is the Samuel perceiving the Lord is speaking to him. The Spirit expresseth itself. But you got to be spiritual to hear it. You can't be, see, the Lord can't, Lord can't deal with a impudent heart. You got to be sincere. That's what really it comes down to as well. You got to be sincere. You got to be honest. You got to be an honest soul in this, man. Like be honest with the Lord. Like, yeah, Lord, I need help, Lord. I fucked up, or I need your help, Lord. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And just wait and be patient. But you got to hear. That's what this is really about. You got to hear. That's the truth about it, man. All of us, including myself, we got to hear when the Lord is talking to us. And it may not always come from the elders. The way you hear it through the Spirit when the elders say certain things is the way that you're supposed to hear it from when your camp heads, when your heads are saying it, no matter, your head is saying they set up in the Spirit to be your leader. You got to believe. And then on the flip side, you got to have enough humility to hear it from the youngest man in the camp as well. The youngest man in the camp the Spirit may be on him to say something, and you got to be able to hear it. Yeah, what the fuck he know? He a young man. Hey, 144 on the time. It's balance to this. You got to understand these things. Then you got to know when the Lord could be, like I said, it's examples in the scriptures. Hold on, let's get the. Bear me 1 second. Pulling up another scripture. All right. Let's read this. This is Numbers 22 and 22. And it says, in the Lord's anger, Yahweh Shem Yahushai's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him. And he was riding upon his ass, and 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord in the path of the vineyard stood in the path of the vineyard, and a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself unto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn either to the right hand or the left hand. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of and the Lord, hear this, Numbers 22 and 27. And 28. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto his ass, because thou hast mocked me, I would there were a sword in my hand, for now I would kill thee. So this man is having a conversation with an ass, like Shrek and Donkey. Okay? But again, these points of the scriptures, if you don't got faith to believe on them, then that it's all in vain. It's just a story. But you got to really believe that the Lord had the power to bring language, words that we understand out of an animal's mouth to communicate. Again, these accounts aren't here just for cool effects. The Lord put this here so that what? Hey man, you got to perceive even if an animal ain't talking to you, the spirit is on the animal. The scriptures tell you to let the birds teach thee. When you see birds flying in land, that's them telling you, hey, a storm's coming. You got to perceive what the spirit in these animals are communicating. If you see a bunch of animals fleeing, nigga, something coming. That's communication. That's expressing itself. So again, I don't got to read any more of this. The point of it all is, you can finish that if you haven't read that. That's a good account. But the point of it all is that you got to be humble enough in the spirit. Here it is. The angel of the Lord was standing there, and the donkey could see the angel. So he's trying to, yo, man, we got to go this way. Oh, shit. Donkey trying to save his ass. And he want to smote it. So the Lord used that as an example. You got to be able to perceive the spirit in everything. Children, women, you can't be so cut off and be like, man, these women, you be in that spirit of, you be so stuck in that spirit of, these women are, these women, the Lord has deprived her of wisdom. Yeah. And you just be so gung-ho, not seeing the balance of that. Scriptures also say deal with her according to knowledge. So you here it is, your woman through the spirit. I can say this through the account of, I ain't got to put the brother's name out there. I'm not, for the sake of, it's not, hey man, those who know that was watching this have seen this. It was a brother that was once in our camp, in my camp. And he basically not in the camp no more. And some terrible things occurred to him recently. It comes out the whole time, his rib is telling him, hey, why don't you just go teach? Hey, why don't you just go teach? Hey, you should teach. Hey, you should teach. Hey, why don't you teach? This is his woman telling him to go teach. The same things we was telling him. Hey, man, just go teach. Teach. Do a lesson. Do whatever you can in the spirit. Right? Don't want to hear it. So that's that hardening your heart. Like, I ain't about to hear that from you. You a silly woman, man. What does a woman know? What does a child know? How can a child tell me something? That's a terrible spirit, man. Hey, so man, with that, I'm gonna close this up. I just wanted to speak in the spirit of, you got to hear, man. If you in the spirit, you got to hear. So with that, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Shalom.